Not only is today a celebration of our academic achievements at Sachem East, but also a day of remembering all that we have accomplished as students over the past 13 years. Think all the way back to the year 2000, the good old days when a gallon of gas only cost $1.26 and reality TV was on the rise. The most redundantly played graduation song by Vitamin C fittingly came out in the year that we were to begin our academic journey. However, at the time this song reached its popularity, the only thing we were thinking about was choosing our backpacks and lunchboxes for our first day of kindergarten. With our trusty Crayola crayons and Lisa Frank folders in hand, we took our first steps onto that big yellow bus. The next 6 years consisted of learning multiplication tables, seeing who could swing the highest on the playground, and having the chance to learn a new musical instrument. Flash forward to middle school. For 3 years, we thought we were the coolest kids on the block. We now had lockers, the freedom to change classes, and for some, our first cell phone. Although many of us may view middle school as a transition phase, it was during these years that we forged the skills to become young adults. In August 2009, we found ourselves in a whole new world on top of this massive hill for our freshman orientation. By the time I figured out what floor I was on, the orientation was over. After getting over the initial shock of our first exposure to this school, these last 4 years in Sachem were probably our fastest. All of these memories and experience have led us to this evening. This ceremony is very similar to our 5th grade elementary school graduation because in both cases we moved on to a new school and met new people. Well, just a minor difference, you have to add an extra 500 students tonight, many of which you may have never heard of until their names are read aloud. Even though our class is so large, I have never felt overwhelmed because there is a common school spirit that brings everybody together. It really kicks off in the beginning of the year with the annual homecoming game, where students have bared their spirit to show their Sachem pride. And that's just the unclothed truth. Despite this unifying energy, there are some things about such a large school that students can't escape. Every student has experienced it. Whether you're on the 2nd or 3rd floor, it seems as if the hallway is only a couple feet wide as you try to pass through the A and B wing. To many members of the audience, there was a way that our Sachem class was united that may be unusual to them. Hashtags and retweets were the quickest way for us to keep up to speed on different events and recognitions in the school community. As my nana would say, we twitted about school on the tweeter. Through Twitter, as it is commonly pronounced, Sachem administrators kept students encouraged by tweeting words of wisdom and advice, and our senior class has used Instagram as a fast way to share their pictures while on senior trip. The relevance of social media was most clearly seen during the erratic weather on Long Island this year. Back in the day, whenever there was a possibility for a school closing, I would stare at the bottom of the News 12 television screen for what felt like a lifetime for Sachem's status to appear. Then, we got high-tech with a district-wide automated phone call. But even this was surpassed. Before our parents would receive the automated phone call, students would rush and check Twitter for rapid updates. About 30 seconds after the official Sachem tweet would be released, hundreds of students across the district already knew that school would be closed the next day. One of Sachem East's finest qualities is its faculty. I have always felt that my teachers genuinely cared for their students and wanted to see them succeed. I'm sure that many would agree that Mr. Fig, Mr. Zumbo, Mrs. Melandro, and Mrs. Downs were 4 of the best. One teacher in particular is my AP chemistry teacher, Mr. Holden. With a combination of corny jokes and humor, there was never a dull moment when someone was not laughing in class. Not only did I learn so much, but it was Mr. Holden's keen wit and his devotion to always stay after school that made his class one of my favorites. If you asked any of Mr. Barageo's students what came to mind when you thought about him, it would be Starbucks. With his coffee in one hand, Mr. Barageo taught his AP World History classes in a way that made history interesting and enjoyable. He is one of those teachers that is sincerely interested in what is occurring in your life, and it's his kind-hearted demeanor that has truly impacted me. I would also like to acknowledge my guidance counselor, Ms. Kerber. Her commitment and dedication through these past 4 years is unmatched. Going to the guidance office was a pleasure because I knew that I would always get a laugh while talking to her. I would like to thank all of my prior teachers, and I hope they know that they have all affected my life in a different way. It would be remiss if I did not take the time to thank all the parents and family that have guided us from the start. Personally, I would like to thank Aunt Marianne, Uncle Jamie, Alex, and little Jamie. Also, I'm so lucky to have a Papa and Uncle Don that have been so involved in all aspects of my life. Nana, you are such a riot with your crazy loud laugh. If people think they've seen my face at its reddest, then trust me, that's nothing until you see in the shade of purple it gets when she is cheering me on at school events. All joking aside, Nana, I am so grateful for you. Brittany, I admire all that you have accomplished, and even though you are my big sister, you've always made me feel that it was me that you admired. You're my best friend and always will be. Mom and Dad, I'm truly fortunate to have you as my parents. Thank you for your guidance, encouragement, and devotion in everything that I do. You instilled in me the quality to just try my best that has guided me and will guide me for the rest of my life. As cliche as it may sound, I really don't know where I would be without you. I love you both so much. To my friends and fellow graduates, thank you for all the wonderful memories, and I wish you the best. When I started to write this speech, I was unsure how to express the emotion of this momentous occasion in just a few minutes. For all of us, graduation is not only an end, but a beginning. I feel that one of my favorite quotes from my childhood encapsulates the essence of how we should look to the future. The boys may recognize this quote from the legendary Babe Ruth, while the girls, including myself, may remember it being said by Hilary Duff in the movie A Cinderella Story. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. As we sit in our red robes before you, it is important that we keep this mantra in our minds. We are moments away from crossing the threshold to a new portion of our lives, which may seem daunting since the comfort and opportunity that the Sachem community has provided will be ending. When we think of this, we have to consider that just 4 years ago, we entered high school both tentative and anxious without knowing half of our class. These feelings quickly dissipated as we garnered experiences, lessons, and friendships that will surely cement high school as one of the best times in our lives. Now we stand in the same position once again. I'm confident that my class will overcome any apprehensions about the future and will view it with enthusiasm, as this is the time to take chances and to define who we are in the world. There are an immeasurable amount of possibilities open to us. Like Babe Ruth stated, we can't let the fear of a new beginning deter us. It has been said that life is like a box of chocolates. Even though you do not know what is coming next, you should try it anyway, and this is part of the excitement. As we look to our left and our right, every one of us will have a different story. But tonight at our graduation, we are the Sachem East class of 2013.
We never really thought it would happen, and here we are, cap and gown, ready to grab our diplomas. It's unbelievable, and I'm not really sure when it's going to sink in, because even standing up here making this speech, I can't believe that I'm graduating today. That any of us are graduating today, really. And we've been crying, leaving the hallways, leaving our teachers, leaving the student parking lot, although I'm not really sure how upset we are to leave the parking lot. And I'm sure my whole family is crying over there. But I want this to be a happy speech, not one that makes us all cry because it's over. I've realized something truly beautiful in the past few weeks. Graduating and leaving high school and leaving friends and teachers and everything we've come to know so dearly is a gift, not something we should spend time being upset about. This is something that not everyone is lucky enough to experience. And we have to remember how lucky we are that we had the privilege to finish high school and move on to college or the workforce or the armed forces. It's a blessing that we may take for granted. And if I can achieve anything with the honor of delivering this graduation speech, I want to make all of my classmates, their family members, and the entire staff of the Sachem School District really stop and think about just how lucky they are. Life is short, and for some it's even shorter, unfortunately. And as cliche as it may sound, you don't know what you have until it's gone. We've heard hundreds of different sayings. Today's a gift, that's why it's called the present, or live each day like it's your last. We hear them on and on without end on TV and movies, on the radio, but how many of us actually listen? How many of us actually hear these sayings and try to change? We all have days where we feel though nothing more could go wrong, and at these moments nothing could possibly be worse, and there's no getting better, but there is. Things will get better. As my classmates and I pack our things and move out, leaving our family and friends and dogs and cats behind and join the real world, we are going to have a lot of difficult moments. It's inevitable. We'll be overwhelmed and stressed out. We will be tired. We will be homesick. But through all of this, we have to remember to make time to be happy and make time to do what makes us happy. We need to stop and think about all of the wonderful, beautiful people in our lives and be grateful for all that we have. Something as simple as that can give each of us the faith and determination it takes to be as successful as we possibly can. What I'm really trying to get everyone here to at least think about is that life is short, but life is beautiful. We need to make the best out of each day we are granted. I wish for all of my classmates that each day of their life after high school is full of adventure, that each day is filled with memories to last a lifetime and the kind of laughter that hurts after a while. If possible, that's how each day of our lives should be spent. Now, I'm not saying everyone wake up tomorrow and go skydiving, even though I've heard it's pretty incredible. I'm asking that each day you take a second and think about what makes you happy. A friend, your family, music, or your cat, and do something that makes you genuinely happy each day. It could be something so simple, because if you're happy, you can be successful. And that's what I want for all of you, because you deserve to be both happy and successful. Do something you love and do it for the rest of your life. Make friends, try new things, take chances, but be safe, of course. But whatever you do, be happy. In the words of Buddha, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Share your light, make others happy too. I want to thank the entire staff of Sachem East for all that they do on a daily basis for each of us. So many teachers, so many students, and yet it still managed to feel like we were a family. There isn't a staff member in that building who hasn't positively affected someone with a cap and gown sitting out there tonight. I'd also like to thank the rest of administration for their dedication to helping us make it to where we are today. I'd like to thank all the proud family members of each graduate sitting on that field tonight. Without your love, dedication, support, and forgiveness, we would not be the men and women we are today. And we won't fully understand all you do for us until we are parents ourselves, I suppose. I want to take a moment to thank my family. Thank you to my mom and Dennis, the two most loving and supportive parents anyone could ever dream of. You've taught me everything I need to know to live a happy life just by being perfect examples of what it truly means to be happy. You've been there to support me in every concert, every show, every recital, every competition, and I can't thank you enough for your love and affection. And thank you to the rest of my family and friends for helping me become the person I am today. And to all of my fellow graduates tonight, as we leave with our diplomas, I hope you begin the next step of your life with an open mind and an open heart. We have truly left our mark as senior class in Sachem history in such a positive, honorable way. Cherish the memories that were made here at Sachem East and create memories that will last a lifetime. But above all, be happy. Thank you.